In 1970, Hafez al-Assad, a military officer from a minority Alawite sect, seized power in Syria. He quickly consolidated his authority, establishing a regime characterized by an unyielding grip on power. Assad built a formidable military apparatus, instilling fear and obedience throughout the nation. His secret police, known as the Mukhabarat, became infamous for their brutal tactics, silencing any whisper of dissent. Assad's rule was one of absolute control. He brooked no opposition, crushing any perceived threat to his authority. His regime was built on a system of surveillance and fear, where citizens were constantly monitored. Arbitrary arrests, torture, and disappearances became commonplace. The brutal nature of Assad's regime was laid bare in 1982 in the city of Hama. When an uprising against his rule emerged from the Muslim Brotherhood, Assad responded with unimaginable force. The Syrian military bombarded the city, killing tens of thousands of civilians. The Hama massacre, as it came to be known, sent shockwaves throughout Syria and the world, solidifying Assad's reputation as a ruthless dictator. Upon Hafez al-Assad's death in 2000, his son Bashar assumed the presidency. Initially, Bashar, a British-trained ophthalmologist, offered a glimmer of hope for change. He introduced limited economic reforms and eased restrictions on internet access. However, any hopes for genuine political reform were quickly dashed. Bashar al-Assad proved to be a chip off the old block. He maintained his father's iron-fisted rule, suppressing dissent and keeping a tight lid on any form of opposition. The Mukhabarat continued their reign of terror, ensuring that any challenge to the Assad regime was met with swift and brutal retribution. The illusion of reform crumbled completely in 2011 with the outbreak of the Arab Spring. Inspired by uprisings in Tunisia and Egypt, Syrian citizens took to the streets demanding democratic reforms and an end to decades of oppressive rule. The Assad regime responded with characteristic brutality, unleashing the full force of the military and security forces on peaceful protesters.